Well, we were in southern Israel on Saturday morning near the border with Gaza when we spotted more than 24 men sitting or kneeling on the cold, wet ground, Israeli soldiers standing guard near them. Now, we now know that those men were Palestinians who were arrested by the Israeli military inside of Gaza and brought to Israel for questioning. Now, these men were blindfolded, they were barefoot, and if you look in this video, you can see their hands are tied behind their backs, and all they're wearing are these disposable white coveralls. Now, it's important to keep in mind that it was about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius, and quite rainy when we filmed this video. And the men in this video seem to be physically exhausted. You can see them kind of swaying around, their heads bobbing as they seem to be falling asleep. One man was actually lying on the ground before an Israeli soldier came to rouse him and prop him up. Now, the Israeli military, for its part, said, quote, "The individuals shown on camera are suspected of terrorist activity and were arrested in Gaza and transferred to Israel for further interrogation. Relevant suspects are taken for further questioning within Israel. Individuals who are found not to be taking part in terrorist activities are released back into Gaza as soon as possible." Now, the Israeli military also addressed the condition in which we found these Palestinian detainees. They said that they were wearing these white coveralls because they had been stripped and searched to ensure that neither they nor their clothing had any explosive devices or weapons on them. And they said that they were about to be placed on a heated bus and taken to a detention facility where they would be provided with actual clothing. Now, we weren't able to verify exactly how long these men were sitting outside in the cold because an Israeli soldier came to us and directed us once he saw we were filming to leave the premises. Now, as it relates to this claim by Israel that these men are suspected of terrorist activity, it's important to note that while this is the first time that we have actually been able to directly document the detention of these Palestinian men from Gaza, there has been a lot of footage circulating from Gaza of Palestinian men being detained, and in many cases, those men actually turn out to be civilians. They are spotted by their relatives or their friends as civilians. And in December, we actually spoke with 10 Palestinian men and boys who had been detained by the Israeli military, held for 5 days, and ultimately released without charge. Now, these men and boys, all of them had swollen wrists, some of them bruises on their wrists from having their hands tied behind their backs for 5 days. Now, the Israeli military, for its part, maintains that it treats all of these detainees in accordance with international law. Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Tel Aviv.